Hello, Silverheads. This is Greg Allison with Green Greg's. We got that muted good. So, wow, we're living in interesting times. We're living in times of a great change. This is a turning point in history. Which way will it turn? Well, we'll find out soon enough, right? So, this year, 2025, is going to be a year to be alive. Hope you can stay alive through it. Let's hope that the prophecies of Deagle.com don't come to fruition. So the good news is we may have a strong prospect for peace in Europe, although it may not be what a lot of people are looking for. And we may have a prospect for a new alliance between the United States and Russia, or at least de-escalation and understanding the terms. And well, let me just back it up here a little bit. Right now, we're kind of like in uh, the Yalta meet back in the end of World War II in 1945. Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin all met in Yalta, which is Crimea, and had this big meeting on the future of Europe, how they were basically divided up. And it kind of set the precedence for the world order for decades to come until the fall of the Soviet Union, at least. So we may be at a similar pivotal point today. Now, go back a little bit. You might recall that back during the first Trump administration, I did a video from the edge of the woods back in my property next to my garden, in which I made the proposition that what Trump and the United States needed to do at that time was to make peace with Putin, to make peace with Russia, and to get Russia aligned with the United States against China, because China is the biggest total threat over the long run to the United States and even to Russia too. But our actions, we have driven the bear into the lap of the dragon. Not a smart move in the grand global strategic scheme of things. So all this stuff about Ukraine is not really about Ukraine. Ukraine is just a pawn on the chessboard, the greater chessboard. If you look at the greater strategy, that's a horrible thing to say, but you've got to really look at the big context of world peace, war, the bigger, much larger chess game that's being played. And right now, the biggest chess game that's being played is being dominated by none less than the dragon itself. And there's no reason for that. We've been the most powerful country, and we've allowed this to take place. We've allowed them to gain an upper hand. But China, economically, is at the pinnacle of their empire. Their economics is beginning to slide. Even without all these tariffs from Trump, they're poised to de-escalate economically. Now they've got so many factories over there, it's not funny. Let's look at some comparisons. Right now, Russia's producing more artillery than all the European nations, the United States, Ukraine combined several times over. But Russia's nothing compared to China in terms of production capability. China is building 4 times more cars than we are. Car factories can be turned into tank factories. That's been the case historically. Tanks and airplanes and all these other factories that China's had, they could be turned to military use. So China may have a little bit of borrowed time in which they can make a grand grab for things as their economy slides down to keep them, it's like putting a stake in the ground, like you're sliding down a hill, you stick a stake in the ground so you don't fall. Then another stake and you start pulling yourself back up. Well, these stakes may be military actions. And China has been a bully in their region, definitely, and somewhat in the world. I mean, just look today at what's happening in the United States, what's been coming across our southern and northern border, and the drug that starts with fentanyl that's been taking out 100,000 Americans a year, roughly. That is a Sun Tzu act of war. So the big scheme of things is we've been ignoring the dragon. The dragon is taking a lot more than we have realized. The dragon is a lot more dangerous by far than Russia could ever be. And also to Russia, because Russia's got this big, huge, almost empty area directly north of China called Siberia. And Russia's really concerned about how they're going to protect Siberia. And China is looking at licking their chops. Like, we'd love to have that. And so Russia's got much at stake, but there's a grander prize in the world politics, the world stage. The grandest, most beautiful apple on the planet is North America. It is the Mississippi River Valley Basin. And you may have heard, what's his name? Anyway, there's other YouTube channel that's always talking about geopolitics. Suddenly his name's escaping me. I'm going to pull up the chat room here and see who's in here tonight. So hopefully we got some people in the chat room. I don't know. Make sure there's no sound there. There we go. We got a few people there. 51. Wow, I'm surprised for this hour. Yeah, his name will come to me in a little bit. Hey, Brian, let's see Brian in the house. Brian, I'm surprised you're up at this hour. Maybe you just woke up. I did open your package. I think this is my last live, maybe the live before. I believe it was the last one on this channel. So check that out, guys. So I'm going to open up a little package I got from Judy here at the end of this video. But guys, on the big grand scheme of things, we're going to go through some articles in a little bit. The biggest prize on this planet is right here. Of course, you know, it's just generically thinking nobody could take this. Nobody could take North America. I mean, the Mississippi River Valley connects most of North America. You got a little bit going on the East Coast and everything else goes to the West Coast. But it's a huge, huge productive area in the center of agriculture, of natural resources, of manufacturing, just a huge watershed. And it provides us great transportation ability. Travel on water is cheap, far cheaper than any other travel. That's why the barges are so popular. And no other country has this. We got this temperate zone we have. We don't have all these other countries bearing down on us that could directly invade us. Because of that, we tend to think we're secure. We tend to think we have nothing to worry about. But there is a bigger issue. I'm going to do a special. I'm going to talk about this some more in the future. I've touched on a little bit in the past, but we're going to come back to it with a special guest. You know, China has got everything hacked in the United States. Everything's hacked. They got this stuff coming across our border. And, you know, they probably got a lot of sleeper agents in this country. And we probably knew. You remember what they found in Reedy, California? A biolab. Yeah, biolab. Well, for those that don't know, China's been involved in bio research for a long time, for a very long time. Let's see if I can find this article. We're going to do share screen. I'll talk other stuff here. I don't know if I've got it. That's not it. What the heck? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. It's just a stupid ad popping up there. Why? Go on here. All right. I think I got it in this litany of articles. Let's see. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I guess I don't. But anyway, let's stop share for a second. Sorry about that, guys. We'll go back to these articles in a minute. But in essence, guys, here's what you need to know. It's that, let's see if I can find a reference to it here somewhere. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. There was this 2017. I've talked about this in a previous video. Oh, a lot of people got hopping mad at me about this. There is a 2017 edition of Science of Military Strategy, a textbook published by the People's Liberation Army's National Defense University. And this textbook is considered to be relatively authoritative, but it debuted a section about biology as a domain of military struggle. Similarly mentioned the potential for new kinds of biological warfare to include, this is in 2017, to include specific genetic attacks. I don't make this stuff up. This was in a Chinese textbook. I published this stuff on my Facebook site page, and I had people just going crazy attacking me. Oh, that ain't so. That's something from Epoch Times. That's or it's something from the this group or that group or blah 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 blah. I don't know. Really, the textbook exists. I pulled it up at that time. I found it and pulled it up. There it was. This. I didn't make this stuff up, guys. This is real, and this is now. This is now 8 years old. In the world of biotech, 8 years is forever. This came out, that was published 2 years before something nasty broke loose that we know about. That wasn't a genetically designed bug, it was just all over bug. But with all the advents in AI and the genetic information that China's been collecting on everybody, who knows what they got? Who knows what they could do or what they will be able to do with their AI systems they're developing. You see why this is important? You see why this is something that we need to think about? So, and this is why I tell you guys, in the long term, China is the biggest threat. And they're the biggest threat because we buy a lot of junk from them. We have financed the development of their military, which is vast. We finance the development of their industry. That's not so bad if it wasn't dual used for military. If China wasn't turning so much stuff into military, it wouldn't be so bad. But we're having to increase our defense spending because we buy junk cheap from China. So what's wrong with paying tariffs and then having the tariffs cover what our income taxes come from? What I think is not really right here is we're charging 25% to Canada and Mexico, but only 10% to China. How about 100% to China? Yeah, the Chinese tariffs should be much higher because China is the threat. But probably we haven't gone side because Elon Musk is friendly to China, unfortunately. Elon's doing a lot of great work in Doge. I'm really happy to see a lot of the changes that are happening there. They're uncovering a lot of malfeasance, graft, and corruption. But he is too friendly to China because he's got a lot of manufacturing footholds there. And so a lot of other American companies. That needs to change. That needs to change across the board. Anybody doing business in China ought to know that China's going to steal your technology. And indeed they are. Tesla's now saying, well, he's because China's now building electric cars like way cheaper. Tesla's come and says, well, we're going to be a robotics company. But, they got the G1 robot in China, humanoid robot, that's only $16,000. Come on, Tesla. Come on, Elon. How are you going to cost compete with that? Now, what a lot of people are talking about, Peter Zine's the name I was trying to think of earlier. Peter Zine also pointed this out about how important America's breadbasket is and how it would ensure us and our prosperity like forever to come. That we would always be okay because we got that. That is, if we got it, if we're here to enjoy it. So he didn't take that into account. He's also talked about how China's demographic is dropping, and indeed their economy is dropping, and we know that. And that puts China, see, there's a danger in that too, because China knows that maybe they got to act now, or their time may be short, like the old prophecies in the Bible. The devil getting thrown down to earth, he knows his time is short. That may be the case. Remember in the Revelations, the red dragon? What's China's moniker? I just saw where they had thousands of drones flying in the sky over there, 10,000, 100,000, something like that. And what did all those drones assemble to? A red dragon. Yeah, China embraces the red dragon. They're the communist red country. The dragon is their symbol, and the red dragon especially. It always was a red dragon. So maybe they are the red dragon of Revelations. Now, this is not to talk against Chinese people. This is the Chinese Communist Party. There are definitely Chinese people in Taiwan that want no part of it. The people of Hong Kong didn't want any part of this, but they got sucked into it against their will. Remember all the protests? Yeah, who wants to be part of that kind of system? There's a lot of good people trying to escape from over there, but you got to be careful. You don't know who coming from over there is a sleeper agent or a spy, and or who's just somebody really want to get out. Like most people would in a government like that. You know, the people in China, they don't like to be living with a jackboot on their neck. They don't want that, but that's what they're stuck with. So, you know, look at the Uyghurs. How happy are they? How happy the people in Inner Mongolia? They're not. The Tibetans. Tibet wants to be free, um, but they've been conquered against their will and subjugated by the Chinese people. China is now looking for other areas. They've got a huge population. And Peter Zine says they're going to collapse because of demographics collapse. But can they prop it up with the robotics? With all their manufacturing capacity, it might be that there's a game changer. AI and robotics may shatter the whole paradigm of demographics. Peter Zine didn't think about that one. Peter Zine missed that one. That may be the game changer. And biowarfare could be a huge game changer. Biowarfare and drone warfare may be the biggest ugly things coming at us. How do you defend yourself, especially against genetic biowarfare? What do you do? How do you do? You have to isolate yourself, really, this time, or something, because you can't afford to catch that stuff. Because the stuff that can be come up with in the lab can be pretty close to 100% fatal, and that would be their goal, to make it very fatal and very, very spread contagious, but maybe with a long incubation time, so it would spread far and wide before it starts kicking people. I mean, that would be the ideal genetic weapon when it's got a marker in it, so that we only go to certain genetic types, and maybe a timing factor. After so many divisions, maybe it fall apart because they would hate for it to evolve and come back at them later, which it could do. You know, it's a stupid thing about it playing with fire like this. Yet labs all over the world are doing it. They're playing with fire like this. They're playing with stuff they ought not do. You know, we're so worried about the bird flu, but you know, I've seen reports years ago that there had already been 2 strains of human contagious bird flu developed in labs, one in Indonesia and one in the Netherlands. They got this thing in a lab, put away in the freezer. You got to hope the freezer don't break down. And what was all that stuff at Reedy, California? What else could be out there, guys? So this is why that we need to and look bigger than Ukraine. Ukraine's a little penny player in the grand global thing. Do we want the whole world to be nuked over Ukraine? No, we don't. I'm sure Zelensky would. You know, there's people over there that would. There's people here that would go for that. But there's a bigger scheme. There's a bigger game that's got to be played. There's a bigger force involved. And Russia knows they're at risk too. Russia knows this. But like I said, we drove, you know, the politics make strange bedfellows. Well, war makes even stranger bedfellows. We drove Russia into the dragon's lap. We put the bear in a dragon's lap. Now maybe we can liberate the bear. Like I said years ago, I said we ought to make peace with Russia in the line in defense against China. Well, we're back to that stage, and it may happen because that's, as I understand, just exactly what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to pry Russia loose from China. And if that's the case, I applaud that. Now, there may be people who will get just furious mad about it. Okay, leave a comment below. Tell me why. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why. Or if you think that that's not the thing to do, or if you think I'm wrong because you think it's, I don't know, it's just not going to happen that Trump won't do this. Okay, so, but for those in the chat room right now, I'd like to see a little feedback. We're going to go through some articles here in a minute, but let's time to see a little feedback. If you think that Trump ought not try to make peace with, ought not do this, not do it or can't do it, either one. If you think he shouldn't do it or can't do it, put a 1 in the chat room. If you think he should at least try to make peace with Russia to have common defense of China, put a 2 in the chat room. I'd like to see what you guys think. So let's we got 94 in the chat room here. Just crazy hour in the morning. I've not been to bed yet. I've wanted to do a video last couple of nights and I just couldn't get to it. I couldn't pull everything together. It takes a lot of time to do this, guys. And I'm right now still trying to build, I'm still working on the tiny home inside. I'm still dealing with some health issues. I got a lot going on. So, hey, Keith in Arizona, I got a neighbor up. I hope you just woke up instead of like me been up all night. Kelly Smurf, how you doing? Groucho Globe, Anita, Craig, H. Lammers, Mitch Jones, Gypsy Lizzie, New Days. So we hadn't seen anybody straight cutting in here. Straight cutting. Oh, Killer Smurf. Killer Smurf. Let's. I got something for you. Ding. Killer Smurf. You've been smurfed. I do believe. All righty. And I got to thank New Days for reminding me that you need smurfing. All right, everybody's twos. I hadn't seen a single one. So, further evidence of all this is that Trump went and negotiated, and he talked to Vladimir Putin directly for 90 minutes. Called him up on the phone and just had a 90-minute heart-to-heart discussion with Vladimir Putin. That's quite a long talk. Usually when these presidents talk, they have all their minions line things up for weeks and months ahead of time and get the grand philosophy and the talking points. Yeah, Trump says that right. Yo, Pooty, what's up, dude? So why are you running into Ukraine? What are we gonna do about this? We gotta stop this mess. So let's hope that they can actually stop it. And you got all kind of people. Oh, they can't stop it. Blah blah blah. They don't want to stop it. It's all just this. It's all just that. Putin told us what in the very beginning what would stop him from going in. I don't think he realized what he was quite getting into that it would take them so long and cost him so much. Because he does have a fallen demographic, as does Ukraine, and it's severely damaging both countries' prospects for a long-term future, especially when you got to look at a country like China, which also has a fallen demographic. I mean, the young people, there's less and less young people. The countries are liable to implode. This is true in European countries too. So there's a lot that needs to be done for having more kids, folks. Families, but we destroyed family values here in the West. Families are just an anathema. Like you want to be a soccer mom or a kicky mom. Remember Hillary was looking down on that with disdain. Excuse me, that's more honorable than being Secretary of State, Hillary, especially one like you were. Kids need development. Kids are the future. You need to take your hats off to mom. Being a mom is a very honorable job. Our world is built on moms. So, people that want to disparage that are sick. Moms make the world. Don't you love your mom? I hope you do. Mother's Day is coming up soon. If you still got a mom to adore, by all means, pay some honors. I lost my mom, but I'm up there on the calendar myself. So, love them while you got them, moms and dads, brothers, sisters, friends. Next day is never given for anybody. I had a nephew, actually a husband of niece of mine, who was, in his early 50s, like 52. Just last week he was out trimming a tree and a limb fell and got him, whacked him, ended him. Good man. Very tragic. But anyway, all right. So just painting the bigger picture for what's going on in the world. This is a world stage, and it's time for change. It's time to quit. Here we are where China's a big threat, and we're not paying attention to China. We're wasting all our ammo with Houthis and giving stuff to Zelensky, to Ukraine. Oh yeah, thank you, Joe. Way to go. Talk tough against us, but as long as you keep wasting all your ammo over there, well, you're doing a good job. You gotta wonder, right? You really gotta wonder. I don't know, guys. You gotta wonder. So the people that one child rule in China almost ruined them. Yeah, and now they can't recover from it. Children are the future. So Elon does realize that, and I got to agree with him on that. Elon's a brilliant man. He's a little bit blind on the China side. I think he's going to pay for it. I think he will pay for it. But anyway, so let's even if the brightest can't be 100% right. So let's go back. This maybe we'll do Chrosniak again. So let's go in there. Oh, where are we at? All right, and some other countries, things going on. See, the world is still, even though we're maybe making peace with Russia, we got to worry about China. Seriously, nuclear war. But Israel, according to U.S. intelligence sources, quote unquote, they believe that Israel is likely, that's likely means more than 50%, likely to strike Iranian nuclear facilities this year. They've said that during the Biden administration. They're saying it also in the Trump administration. We know he would like to. We also know that Trump thinks if he can negotiate the right deal with that Ayatollahs, that could be averted. But he's telling them, hey, I'd rather negotiate with you peace than bomb you. But if you can't do the negotiation, bye bye. That's probably what it's going to come down to. So we could very well have a major war with Iran. Now, Iran is not just jumping into the negotiating table. They have talked about it, but they're kind of hem-hawing around. I guess that's what they did before. Maybe it's part of their art of the deal to get the best deal they can. They're hardcore negotiators too. But we got these B-52s over there that's going there. Maybe we're ready to apply some pressure. I don't know. Now, this article claims it might be against Russia or the Middle East. I think it's more aimed at the Middle East. But in the meantime, the dollar is under challenge again. Right now it's doing well, but de-dollarization, both India and Russia have agreed not to use the dollar in the trades between them for 90% of their transactions. So that could be a huge hit on the demand for the dollar on the stage. Now, Trump's come out and said anybody that's using BRICS to defeat the dollar is going to get a 100% tariff. So, but he's also trying to cozy up to India and Russia. So how's that? He's basically trying to pull them out of BRICS. Now, maybe if they're only doing this between them and not doing it globally, he might let it pass. I don't know how that's going to play in. But all this also is part of the ongoing conflict environment we're in. If that changes, this may change too. But Trump was actually trying to shatter BRICS, break BRICS, and he might just pull it off. He might, but there's still, this article's not coming up too well. Let's see. This article is all about all these banks. They're pulling gold. They're going for physical gold. You got all these people talking about buying paper gold like it's real stuff. Well, it'll be in an account. It's in a vault. You got a title to this gold that's in a vault. You got some piece of it, certain amount is yours. A little shaving of that big gold bar is yours. Itty bitty shaving, and here's the paperwork to say it. Although you can only trade it in paper, they'll never let you go in the vault and shave off your little shaving. So there's something a little scammy about that. Well, the big banks know that physical gold is where it's at. And right now, they're concerned enough that they've had gold overseas in London and other places. And they're pulling it all back to the United States. They're pulling it home. They want their gold here. So that's something to think about. I think gold had gone up, and right now we got a little bit of a price dip. How things kind of dip around. So it might possibly be a good place to time and buy gold and silver. A lot of people think silver is going to shoot up. I'm not a forecaster. I don't know what the future holds. So don't say that this is that. I do know food prices are going up, but the speculative things like this, it's hard to say. Past performance does not indicate future economic performance. Past activity don't indicate future economic performance. I think that's the phrase often used as a disclaimer. I'm not a professional trader, but a lot of people do like to go to defythegrid.com because you can buy silver, you can buy these rounds, you can buy gold, you can say you got this deal here, better price. So if you say price match guarantee, if you find a better price somewhere else, call us. We'll meet it or beat it. Who else does that? Who else does that? There's all these other channels that are promoting all these other groups that sell this kind of stuff, but they're doing it because they get a good commission out. This is the smallest commission available because it got the price guarantee. The price guarantee is something that for a YouTuber that this is the smallest commission of anything out there. But I'm actually doing really well with it because a lot of people like what they bring here to the table here, especially the gold backs, silver backs. They got a lot of things. The paper currency that's not paper, but it's actually gold. But you can put it in your wallet. But you can buy, if you're not into that, you can buy bullion. Buy a lot of different things here. But anyway, just something to think about. You can use the discount code Green Gregs. You get 1% off. I mean, it don't sound like a lot, but again, it's the cheapest. So getting anything off matters, right? And Trump is also, he's trying to make a deal. Says, look, you got our money, we want something back for it to the Ukraine. He says, hey, we want minerals. Now, unfortunately, most of the minerals that Ukraine supposedly has is over in the side possessed by Russia. And the way things are looking, Russia is going to keep wherever they're at when the music stops playing. Whatever part of Donetsk and Luhansk that they are in possession of, the Donbass region, they will remain in possession of, including Crimea. And most of these regions are mostly Russian anyway. So what's really going to be the sticking point is, according to the Russian law and constitutions they've passed amendments to, is that they claim all of the Donbass region, Luhansk and Donetsk, and they claim they have to be able to defend it by law and take it. But they'll probably have to find a way around that, because I think when the music stops playing, what you got is what you got. Kind of like in this world prepping, and when it hits the fan, what you got is what you got. And I think that's the way it is there. And a lot of people are saying, well, just going to buy time when Trump leaves office, they're going to move on Ukraine. Well, you got to have other guarantees. Well, you got to make sure that Russia's got other reasons not to want to do that. If they got a strategic alliance with the United States that would help protect them against China, they might have other reasons to think otherwise. If they're not afraid that we're going to come at them, or they're not afraid Europe's going to come at them, NATO with Europe. But what's NATO without the United States? The Europeans got spanked real hard by Vice President Vance. Very in a good speech. I'll play a bit of that for you in a little bit. They needed spanking because the European countries do not afford freedom. We fight for freedom, for democracy or republics. Yet the European countries have lost their sense of freedom of speech. It's kind of like, where we were heading under the previous administration, with all the USAID and other funding, and Pentagon directly funding Reuters. The Pentagon directly funded Reuters to study how to manipulate people with misinformation, to make them think what you want them to think, to make them buy off on some various propositions and ideas, to feed their heads full of mush. Pentagon did that. Oh yeah, the Pentagon's going to get their budget cut too, or at least be scoured through to find the wastecraft and corruption, which is there just like in all the other agencies. All the agencies, they get big. They metastasize like a cancer. They grow and grow and grow. You need checks and balances and audits, and some of these places haven't been audited in a long time. And the one that has never been audited, as far as I know, that needs it the most, that has the most power, absolute power, leads to absolute corruption, right? Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolute. Who's got the absolute power? It hasn't been audited? The Federal Reserve. Oh yeah, audit the Federal Reserve. and somebody needs to go into the vaults at Fort Knox and see what's really there, right? So it's time for some changes, guys. Pledge allegiance to the Republic. Hey, A to Z. Hey, I used to have a little company called A to Z Aerospace, Federal Reserve. That's right. How you doing there, Jason, fellow wizard? Jason Avers is in the house, guys. If you're not going to his channel, check it out. Subscribe. Subscribe to Jason's channel. Arnold Smith. Let's see here. Cheerful Hector Mix. Denmark, Poland, Army News, Chile, Argentina. Love you. All right, that's almost like sounds almost like I didn't start the fire song. All right. Anyway, yeah, most of these minerals are actually on the part that Russia has, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Or if Trump may just want to tell Zelensky that, hey, we ain't sending nothing over. Depends on how the negotiations go. Who's the sticking point? Who wants to dig their feet in the sand? Trump's not going to be very tolerant of that kind of stuff. And there's been misinformation put out by the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal claimed that that Vice President Vance had threatened to send American troops to Ukraine to oppose Russia if Russia didn't do the treaty. And Vance come back and said, "No, I never said that." He said, "I said that we'll use economic leverage and military leverage. That's not the same as saying we're going to put troops in." But it's the Wall Street Journal. See, you got all these media outlets that are pumping smoke. So right now, there's a lot of chaff out there in the environment. It's hard to discern what's really going on because you got all these people just trying to conflate things, and people are saying that I've seen people say, "Well, there's constitutional mandates. You can't cut these agencies." There's no constitutional mandate to mandate any agency. Now, Congress may pass laws to create them, but that's not a constitutional mandate. So and the president is the chief administrator. It's within his realm to administrate the actual running of the government. So he's within his rights doing the things he's doing. But anyway, so that's all aside. So, and that's constitutional. So what's not constitutional is all these independent agencies passing regulations which have the effect of law on all of us. They aren't elected. Oh yeah, didn't Musk campaign with Trump, and didn't Trump tell everybody he's going to set up the Department of Governmental Efficiency and put Musk in charge? He did. So they campaigned together. People voted for that. Yet certain people said, "Oh, he's unelected. Nobody voted for him." Well, yeah, most of the people in the United States did. They voted just for that. So, oh my gosh, they're just going crazy. They voted for that because we're tired. Why did Trump get elected? Because we're tired of the government. We're tired of its jackboot. We're sick of it. We want change. That's why he got elected. We want change. Now, change does come with an adjustment period. There's a lot of people, to make the change, you got to lay a lot of people off. You got to get rid of a lot of people. That's going to be an economic hit. As you raise tariffs, there might be an economic hit on that. And the first time, though, we put tariffs on China, nobody really noticed. The big inflation impact that a lot of people complain about is the price of eggs. All the Democrats are pointing out the price of eggs. But what's happening with eggs? It's been the U.S. Department of Agriculture and FDA going around culling chickens. They're getting rid of millions, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of chickens, claiming today they got the bird flu. And because they're worried about people getting it. But then, the case, I don't know of anybody that's ever get bird flu from an egg. Theoretically, maybe it's possible, but the what's in the birds right now is not really human transmissible. So then there was one farmer I've heard who had a whole bunch of his chickens culled, and he tested the chickens where they didn't. He said, "There's no bird flu in my flock," and he got threatened with a $4 million fine if he didn't go along and get his chickens culled. A lot of these farmers are starting to get out of the business. They're saying, "Hey, this is just too much. We can't compete with this bird flu thing and the government and all this stuff. It's costing us a lot of money." So when they get paid for their flock to be terminated, they just say they're folding going on, or they're already home. They're just folding the business. Now, when they do that, that's less eggs in the future. our agriculture system is imploding. This is when you need to start looking to grow your own stuff. I've been preaching that since the inception of this channel. This channel started out as an urban gardening channel, telling you to grow your own stuff. That's how we started this channel. Grow your own. So better think about that. Oh yeah, if you want to grow your own stuff, right now is the best time to order seeds. Go to True Leaf Market and go to Eden Brothers and use the links that I typically post, my affiliate links for those. And I'm sure New Days or somebody will post those in the chat room here. Why is it turkeys and ducks and cows and ravens and blue jays getting bird flu? Well, let's see. That's a good question. So it appears to only really badly affect cats. Don't seem to bother cows. And most people that catch it from cows don't seem to be too bothered by it. So are they making a bunch of hullabaloo out of nothing? You know, they're decimating our agricultural system. And whose administration started? The previous one. And a lot of these people that run around doing this were hires by the previous administration. So that we haven't yet got everything ready to shut that down. So yet the liberals are complaining about the price of eggs and blaming it all on Trump. Give me a break. Give me a break. So a whole nother story. Now I've said all this, my channel may be taken off air. But tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong. Good grief. But you know, hey, Iran's getting ready, the rearmament missile program. And China, of course, is supplying Iran. Imagine that. Iran supplied all their little henchmen in their areas, but who supplies Iran? China. So what I tell you guys about China? Anyway, so I said Trump may actually cut the budget, but he's wanting to come up with an agreement with Russia and China to cut nukes. I think that's a great idea. But we have to bear in mind we got to face both Russia and China. So we can't just negotiate with one or the other anymore. There's got to be something that makes sense in case the other two gang up on us, right? But you know, Russia's concerns are real. They believe the United States is plotting to undermine their nation. And we have been. I mean, how many times have you ever seen those maps back when Russia first invaded Ukraine, showing Russia divided up to like 12 nations? Yeah, there have been people talking and promoting that idea. So why wouldn't the Russians be thinking that? And that's part of why they went into Ukraine to start with. That's part of why they're wanting assurances and some kind of security deal after the war. And Peter Zion, back to him, he says that Russia will never be happy unless they controlled everything that closed off the gaps north and south of the Carpathian Mountains. But that puts them occupying a lot of territory of a lot of other countries and people like Poland who don't want to be under their occupation. And with Russia's fall in demographics, they might find it very difficult to control all these people. So maybe Russia needs to rethink that kind of strategy. It's been the strategy they've used ever since Catherine the Great, Peter the Great, since those days. But those days are maybe coming to an end. But European leaders don't like what Trump's doing because Trump's not including them. You know, the Trump administration said, hey, the reason these talks have failed in the past has been too many players. And they can't agree, or everybody's got too many demands, and Russia won't agree with it, or Zelensky won't agree. So, you know what? We don't need the EU, and to heck with Zelensky, too. We'll negotiate this thing directly with Russia. So, the Europeans are in panic mode over this, over the prospects of us dropping, our support for NATO. NATO, the European guys are in panic mode. Well, we've carried them for decades on our backs, out of our pockets, and we're $36 trillion in debt. So we got to rethink how we spend our money. I just assume we pull full out of NATO. And Europe could take care of its own if it would unite, work, and do it. If they get to resolve the backbone, they can take care of themselves if they would do it. But will they do it? Will they do it? I don't know. But why do we have to do it? Anyway, oh yeah, the Danes are one of the countries that's been most concerned about this. Man, the Danes can't protect their own little country. It ain't no bigger than a little finger sticking out north out of Europe, northern part of Europe. How in the world did the Danes propose they're going to defend all of Greenland? If the Russians or Chinese are the one went in with an invasion force in Greenland, if you think the Danes could stop them, put a 3 in the chat room. If you think Russia or China or America, anybody going into Greenland except Canada, don't consider Canada. Anybody else going into Greenland, if they want to invade it, could they take it from the Danes? If you think Greenland could be taken, put a 4 in the chat room. That means that Greenland, the Danes cannot defend it. I'd like to see what you guys think. I don't think they could. In fact, I don't even think NATO could defend Greenland. Too far away. They'd be too worried about what Russia's going to do past Ukraine. I just don't see it. Not saying that we should take Greenland, but maybe we should make a deal with the people there. Say, hey, if y'all vote become part of the United States, here's what you'll get out of the deal. I mean, the art of the deal. I believe any people should have the right of self-determination of where they go. Anybody, anywhere, anytime. Like if Quebec don't want to be part of Canada, well, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, nobody thinks that the Danes could defend Greenland. Yo, Greenlanders, you hear that? You want the Danes defending you? Or you want somebody else defending you? If the Chinese took you over, you would be like Tibet. You would not be a happy country. Trust me. Or the Uyghurs. You would not be happy. The outcome of that. Nobody has been subjugated by China has been happy. Anyway. Well, look, we conquered Japan. Japan loves us. They need us. Germany, what would Germany have done without us after the war? But anyway, stupid ads. Let's go look at some of these other articles. If I can get this thing to advance. I got to call it a night here. It's 4:30 in the morning. I got to get up a little bit. Oh, this is the article, National Review article on the genetically engineered ethnic bioweapon. Now there's an article on here. I didn't realize I had this article that fit a load. There it is. There it is. That's what I was reading from another source just a little bit ago. There we go, guys. And this is this article is the common thread of genetically engineered ethnic bioweapons. That's scary, guys. This is scary. Better go back to see my video on this channel of a nuke in every pot. If you want to understand where this is leading, the dangers of this. We've got to find a way to make peace in the world. But we're not going to survive, or we just got to go off world. Yo, Elon, what's the tickets for a starship? Or get way out in the desert somewhere away from everybody. That's my current approach. All right, hey, I put my money where my mouth is. That's where I'm at, sitting out here in the middle of the desert. Well, here we got we had what we thought was a U.S. defense contractor, and found out it was a Chinese intel official running the company. Oh my gosh, guys! I want the Chinese steal everything we got. China-linked hackers, caught government-linked, of course, but they tell them it's okay to do any kind of scam you want to. China's such a friend. They don't follow Sun Tzu. No, they just wrote it, right? Sun Tzu to a Chinese guy. Yeah, you got to watch it, guys. That's what we're worried about. I'm trying to pull up some stuff on X. I don't know if it's going to load. I think my computer got too many things open. Got a friend here locally who watches my channels who gave me a welcome to Snowflake package, and it included proud to be a snowflake cup. Not a snowflake as in a snowflake, but here in the snowflake, I am here in the snowflake area. I'm happy with that. Well, I just don't want to load. Come on. It does. All right, we may just have to come back to this in a future video. Yeah, all right, here's a different X tab. Let's see if we can pull up the speech of J.D. Vance to the Europeans. Maybe we should just talk about it. I think it's 18 minutes long before. Oh, I hate it when X does this. X is real bad. You have something pulled up. When you come back to it, it pulls up something different. And then you have to type in to get what you want. So we'll just, rather than try to chase it down, we'll just talk to it. Yeah, and it was based on hundreds charged with online speech crowds under Orwellian crackdown. So sorry. I'm about to shut this whole thing down. Oh yeah, all right. We got a couple things to talk about here. So, in fact, I am going to shut it down. I don't need this stuff open. Hey, look. This is compliment. J.D. Vance went to Munich, this big defense conference. All these European leaders, military leaders, government sitting in the room. They had to listen to him because they were in there, and he dished it out. They just sit there. Listen. They had no choice. Anybody in Europe right now, or especially in England, France, some of these countries, Germany, if you were to go out there and say what J.D. Vance said, you would be put in jail. There's no freedom of speech. There was somebody who pointed out the attacks that certain ethnic groups or immigrants were doing on something like one of the ladies there, and native local ladies in the country. The guys who did it the guy who pointed at it behind bars lots of time. That's what's going on, guys. You talk about thought crime. Thought crime is worse than actually going out and ravaging somebody. Whether you can ravage somebody and get away with it or not may depend on other factors. Yeah. So Vance went over there and he spanked them. He said, like, you're not the countries. Y'all fought against the Nazis and stuff. You fought for freedom, and now you're just like what you fought against. Just like what you fought against. He said, why are we America can't defend that. Why should we spend our treasure fighting for somebody that acts like that? And why should we have here? Fortunately, we're shaking that off our shoulder, but that's what they try to invoke upon us. Look in Canada. Remember that little video when I was driving up through Mississippi? I did a little live session about the kind of law Canada was trying to pass on their citizens. Thanks to Castro Trudeau. Think about this, guys. That's one thing he spanked them on. So he talked about their biggest problems was the enemies within. It wasn't China or Russia. Their biggest enemy was within. I've said that too in our country. I said our biggest, I'm not talking about how bad an enemy China is, but the biggest enemy was the people in America who hated America. Tucker Carlson once asked a brilliant question. I think it was the best question I ever heard. And he says, how can the people that hate America run America? Well, now we know. We got the answer straight into the ground. The answer was pretty darn obvious once they took over, right? So straight in the ground. Fortunately, we were able to pull the reins up before the horse would dove over the cliff, right? So we're getting too close to that. So, but he spanked him on that and some other things too. But he really gave him a tongue lashing. And maybe we'll pull this video up, play it in the future. Maybe we'll have some new things open, or maybe an hour where they're not changing everything. So, guys, there's that. Oh yeah, Chinese spy balloon, full of American technology from American companies like Texas Instruments. Oh yeah, they had it just full of American technology. That's interesting. So that's maybe we need to divide the sheets and split the hickory nuts when it comes to trade between us and them. We're enriching China to build defense, to attack us. we're enriching them to attack us. So everybody's, you don't complain about tariffs. How about your existence? Your existence is at stake. So think about that. Anyway, I think it's time to open up this little package. I got a package for Judy Dowell. I'll have to tell her to check this video toward the end. So this nice little package. Let's see what I got. Certain products that she specializes in. I think I know what it is. We don't need super chats tonight. I believe we had it last time. Shut up. Ah, what kind of beard bombs, stash bombs. We got here. She does Hey Jude Botanicals. This is the Lumberjack Beard Balm. You know, I probably need some as my beard's coming apart. Well, like a John Lumberjack, take a sniff. Take a sniff. All right, what's the other little? This is Hey Jude Botanicals Beard Balm. Beeswax. That's what it smells like. Take a sniff of this. Don't lick it. Oh, gosh. Bunch of them in here. Watch them. Bunch of. I got more beard balm. Yeah, maybe I need to figure out a way to help her market or sell this stuff with my channels. We gotta turn ringregs.com into something that works or shut it down. It's costing me too much money. Ah, we got a stash bomb here. All right. Bacon me mustache wax. Bacon me. I'll wear this and all the girls want to eat me up if I smell like bacon. I'll be trying to lick my lips. Take some of that. Bacon. Dogs will be jumping on me. That bacon dog food commercial. All right. What's this one? Got finally one more. Another bacon me mustache wax. I guess. Take a sniff of that one. Don't lick it. All right. I got a video I did on generators. I'll try to upload that the next day or two. I may just walk around and do a walk and talk video if I get a chance tomorrow. I don't know. We got a lot of stuff going on here. So yeah, I need to put some of that beard balm on. I'm about to go to bed though right now. Anyway, let's see what everybody's saying here real quick, a little bit. Just scram through, make sure I haven't missed a super chat or something. Don't look like it. So stamp a few of the chats because it's so late. Yeah, Rodney's in the house. Rodney, I did bring in, I finally found something in storage and brought it in. I haven't brought in much in storage. I was just pretty much, I'm still pretty much camping out here in my tiny home. Something here. Ow. Chocolate stuff. Still deep down in here. Most of it. This is some of the handiworks of Rodney. Made these. Excellent master knife Smith. Another Rodney knife. Over there somewhere. There it is. Maybe up a little bit. Anyway, been on tote for a while as I've been moving. So there we are, folks. So I got him, Rodney. Born in America, cousin from Scotland. Hey, Alex. Stray kid. I was just going back to sleep. Gypsy lizard. All right. So let's see. Danny Anderson. Hi, y'all. So Gregor. Good morning. Yeah, the Iron Dome. That's a good idea. The Chinese return policy. Sawtooth drones can eat airplanes in flight. Anything going through the engine might. Evan left still lost it. Won't listen. Loving the audit and oh, left still lost it. Oh yeah, won't listen. Loving the audit. Thankful for RFK Jr. Oh man, ain't that the? Oh, this is from Scotland. I did say that. The people of Scotland are loving it. And here's another one. Hope all's well. Hello from England to you and everyone watching. Well, good to see you from England. We got England and Scotland in the house. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. What an amazing thing. RFK Jr., the head of Health and Human Services. It's time to celebrate, guys. It is time to celebrate. We got let's hope Kash Patel gets the nomination to the FBI, because you know what he's going to do? He's going to release the island list. Oh, yeah. They don't want that. Oh no. Oh no. There might be enough Republicans on that. They may vote him out. I hope not. That needs to come out. Oh yeah. And Trump uh signed an executive order to reveal all the stuff on JFK, RFK, and MLK get taken out, and UFO files. Interesting, right? Lord knows what we're going to be seeing here coming ahead. You're welcome, New Days. Killer Smurf. There's Tulsa Foxes in the house. Mary and Jason. Nice couple, guys. Up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we got 115 in the house. We got Norway in the house. Wow. Look what's heading to the Gulf of America. Yes, fathers are important. Kids need mama and daddy. Mama and daddy. Kids that are best adjusted in life in the world grow up in homes that's got both. I know sometimes that just can't happen, but it makes a huge difference to the kids. Huge difference. And if you are broken up, try to get along with each other enough to cooperate with the kids. You know, that's has much the same effect. Don't let your little petty things come between you and the kids, you know, if you break up. Let's see. Vance gave excellent speech. Yes, he did. He laid it all out. He put it out, and he was right. I love Vance. I think he ought to be the next president after Trump. It's hard to imagine anybody do a better job than him. Ah, yeah, well, nuclear safety, we need to have that. There we go. Truly Market. New Days had already shared those. Eden Brothers before I even mentioned them. Thank you, New Days. Yeah, we missed a bunch of people. Cowboy, we're here on weird hours. That's true, Arnold. Missed a bunch of people. Anyway, let's see. Can't read everything out. Scanning through all the chat. I got to hit the hay, guys. Arnold says America has the best judges money can buy. These are Canadian, our top Canadian friends in here. One of them. You had other Canadian friends. Rodney's from Australia. We're down at the bottom of the chat room here. RFK Jr. is going to fast food. Well, he can't pass an act, but he can enact it. He can force things to happen. You got to have Congress pass it. You like in Arizona? I am. I found Waldo again. Where are you from? I found Waldo. All righty, folks. Very good to see you live today. It's been long. Yeah, it's been tough for me to come here and do these. Yeah, I've got a blood clot in my left leg. I'm treating it with a blood thinner. And the doctor, I went to see the doctor. He said he sounded like I had a heart murmur. He scheduled me for electrocardiogram. I suppose I went on Valentine's Day yesterday. And lo and behold, the day before, I find out they want $900 after insurance. Stop cancel an appointment. I said, I gotta talk to the doctor and see if it's really worth this. My older daughter had a heart murmur when she was little. She outgrew it. So I gotta think about this. I'm not saying I ain't gonna do it, but I gotta think about it. All right, everybody. That's kind of like where I'm at right now. All right. We got Texas in the house. Everybody tell us where you're from, and we're gonna call it a night. I found Walter is in Texas. All right, very good. All my grandkids were born in Texas. None of my kids were, but all my grandkids were. Hey, you don't know me, Mom? Email me again. Make sure it's at the top of my list. I get a boatload of emails. Just email me again and say, Northern Virginia, Nova Scotia. What? Terrible, Ontario, terrible. Pennsylvania, let's see, Missouri. Mine is, okay, let's see. XRP, it's 10 bricks. I'll send you 900 for the test. Oh, okay. Alexander. Well, thank you for the prayers, Rodney. Bucks, I got you. Not bricks, but bucks. Got you there, Alexander. All righty, so you come out ahead then. Oklahoma, where we're from. Mind to God. There you go, Jason. Amen. Amen. All right, Brian. Good to see all y'all here. Muggy, Queensland, Australia. Is it muggy down there? Well, we actually got a little bit of rain. Just a sprinkle here. I mean, it's still dusty out there, but not as dusty as it was. I won't be able to tell the difference tomorrow. That was last night, not this night, but last night. But I was up in Show Low running an errand, and it came a big rain up there, and everything was wet, and it snowed. And yeah, it snowed up there. So anyway, Keith from Arizona probably got some snow. I don't know if he's still in the house. I guess he may be gone. 107. All right, guys. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you, mods, for all you do. And with that, I got to hit the hay. So with that, I'm going to say, Greg out.